I'm Number 4 is a sci-fi action fantasy from director DJ Caruso. The movie opens somewhere deep in the jungle. I never want to be anywhere that requires you to sleep under a net so you're not ravaged by mosquitoes. This is Number 3. He and his protector are hiding out on Earth. They're some of the last survivors of the planet Lorien that came to Earth to escape the Mogadorians, the aliens that destroyed their planet. The Mogadorians have to kill the Loriens in numerical order. 1 and 2 have already died, and now they kill Number 3. We cut to a Mountain Dew commercial already in progress. This is Number 4. He's living in Florida as a kid named Daniel. After being impressed by his ridiculous antics, Nicole takes him out for a swim.
Big Dipper.
And there's the Big Dip. While swimming, his leg lights up to notify him that Number 3's been killed. What a shitty bunch of friends. That guy you liked 5 seconds ago is writhing in pain with a light coming out of his leg. Don't try to figure out what's wrong, just point and tell all your friends he's a freak. The next morning, Daniel wakes up on the beach from his weird light show. His protector Henry is there to help him out. Each of the numbered aliens has a protector to help train them. They all have special powers, but they don't get them until they reach a certain age. Daniel hasn't received his yet. Since everyone saw what happened at Number 4, they decide to move. You can save money on insurance by switching to Geico. The lizard jumps in the truck to go with them. Daniel's upset at the prospect of moving. Look at where they are. I wouldn't want to move either.
This is the part I hate the most. The running. But it's the only thing in my life that's real. The rest is a lie.
Especially the cake. He explains there are originally 9 Lorien warriors living on Earth. They moved to Paradise, Ohio, and his new name is John Smith. Ah, the majestic mountains of Ohio? Well, since nobody's living here, they won't mind if we just ditch this sign and move in. Seriously, though, how are they able to just move into this house?
It's Bernie Kosar. Played football.
You don't say. The lizard's some sort of shapeshifter, and it turns into a dog that John convinces Henry to let them keep. Back in Florida, Number 6 is trashing the old house, looking for clues to where they went. She blows the place up and does one of the coolest unflinching walks, since she can stroll right through the explosion. In Ohio, in the abandoned furnished house that now has electricity, Henry scans the internet for anything related to John. He uses his alien software to delete any trace of John off the internet. John convinces him to let him enroll in the local high school. Why the hell would anyone willingly want to go to high school? While John's in the office, they get Sarah to show him around the school. John takes this opportunity to look at her ass. John gets his hourly call from Henry, and alright, that ringtone is perfect. John meets up with King Douchebag Mark and the Jock Welcoming Committee. He then meets Sam, self-proclaimed science nerd and punching bag for Mark. John's acting very unhappy and even annoyed with the school, which would be fine, only he's the one who wanted to come here. Mark knocks Sam over with a football, and John launches it back at one of the cronies. Sarah sees this and takes some pictures for her website. Wait a minute, is this a magic camera? She has pictures of him throwing the football, even though she didn't take the camera out until after he threw it. The pictures start to disappear. It's what I see happening if SOPA ever gets passed. Henry's deleting the pictures of John. Isn't this just gonna draw more suspicion to him? John's watching a movie in school. Mark's annoying him and his hands start to light up, so he runs out of class. Henry sees the box of mystery light up, so he knows that John is getting his powers. Oh, gross, not the janitor's mop bucket. He finds him in the school somehow and explains to him what's going on. Why wouldn't he have told him that this was going to happen? Maybe prepare him for it rather than having him freak out?
Your parents were members of the Lorien Guard. You've inherited their abilities. Gifts.
Gifts?
That's right.
My hands light up like roastlers.
His hands light up like roastlers? Henry takes John back home and explains to him that his powers will continue to grow and that they can't leave because he has some business to attend to. What's going on with the glass here? John goes to his room to try his powers out. His hands shimmer orange and teal, so his magical alien ability is to Photoshop movie posters? John sneaks out to see if he has any other powers. He takes off running and, I always thought aliens invented parkour. He then does the latest fad in superhero stances. The Mogadorians buy a bunch of turkeys to feed to their beast creature. This isn't going to arouse any suspicion? John's walking through town and runs into Sarah. They aren't even dating yet and already he's holding her purse. He walks her home and is fascinated by her house.
It's just a house.
Sarah invites him in for dinner.
Mom, telling me that self-tanner looks totally natural.
She was orange.
Ironic that they're commenting about orange skin in a movie that follows the Michael Bay color correction scale. While at the table, John's phone rings. 3 missed calls? Didn't Henry say...
Keep this on you, I'll call you every hour. If you don't pick up, I know something's wrong.
Sarah takes John up to her room. Hey look, it's your personal journal. I'm sure you won't mind me rooting through it. Sarah gives John one of her cameras. Mark sees him leaving and is jealous. The next day, Henry doesn't even bring up that he never answered his phone. Mark's pissed off, so he sets off paint bombs in John and Sam's lockers. Since his shirt was ruined, Sam gives John one of Bill Cosby's sweaters. Sam confides that he and his father used to look for evidence of aliens before he disappeared. Henry goes to Sam's father's steel mill and finds a conveniently placed magic rock. Ooh, the Mogadorians are so bad, they drive around scaring children. John goes out on a date with Sarah to the local county fair. That guy just spent his entire life's savings on that giant banana. Sarah explains that she used to date Mark, which is why he's so jealous. Sarah and John go on a haunted hayride. Well, a hayride only does 2 people at a time.
Everybody off.
Thanks, Rob Zombie. After almost being chainsawed by Slipknot, Mark's goons used their Call of Duty Dude Bro night vision headsets to ambush him and kidnap Sarah. They went and picked on the wrong alien because he uses his lens flare hands to beat the piss out of him. Sam sees John going after Sarah and knocking out cronies along the way. John finds Sarah and proceeds to give Mark what he deserves.
I hope you can throw with your left hand.
Until she stops him. John walks Sarah home and makes his move.
All I think about is you.
Even though I only met you 3 days ago. All right, Mom, you cockblocker. John gets a text from Sam that he saw him tonight and he wants to talk. It's pretty bright out for 2:30 in the morning. Sam confronts John and reveals to him what he is. The next day, the sheriff, Mark's father, comes to ask John some questions about last night. Typical bully, gets his ass beat and goes right to the cops. Henry and John tell him that he was out with Sarah. The sheriff leaves and wait, he's not going to ask them why they're living in an abandoned house? Henry tells John they're moving again, but John refuses. Henry tries to stop him, but John fights back. Henry then shows him that he doesn't need superpowers to whoop his ass. Henry found a video of John online, but his software can't take care of it, so he has to go take it down at the source. He tells John to get ready that they're going to leave tomorrow. The next day, John gets a call.
Henry?
No, but come here and I'll tell you how to find him.
John gets Sam to give him a ride to the kidnapper's house.
So you guys don't...
Anally probe people? No. John goes inside to rescue Henry. On the list of lame superpowers, flashlight hands is definitely one of them. John finds Henry and fights off the kidnappers. The kidnappers contacted the Mogs and set this up as a trap. They escape the Mogs, but Henry gets mortally wounded. Henry gives John the magic rock and tells him that Sam's dad was helping them find the others. Then he dies and leaves behind nothing but the refreshing scent of pine. The Mogs kill the kidnappers, and now the police think that Henry and John are terrorists. John goes to a house party to see Sarah, and Sam goes to get the other half of the magic rock that his dad gave him. While on the way, Sam picks up John's dog.
Your dad is some kind of terrorist?
He's not a terrorist.
Tell me the truth. Who are you?
I'm an alien with superpowers that's escaping from an evil group of other aliens with face skills and tattoos that can only kill us in numerical order. Now John and Sarah are on the run from both the Mogadorians and the police. Leave town? Nah. Let's go develop film. This is a dark room. Great. Now all the film is ruined. The Mogs take Mark and force him to take him to John. John and Sarah are cornered by the Mogs, but Six shows up and oh my god, is she awesome! The Mogs unleash the beast, and John's dog transforms into a Tibetan Mastiff. Six and John fight the Mogs while the dog fights the beast. They easily dispatch the Mogs, now working as a team. Six explains that John's dog is a chimera, a shape-shifting creature from their home planet that is one of his other protectors. They get out on the football field with more Mogs and another beast. Sarah and Sam run for it while John and Six stay to fight. Again, working as a team, the Mogs are no match for them. This stadium looks like a soccer field after the World Cup. Six and John join both halves of the magic rock, and great, now you broke it. Actually, now they both know where the other Lorians are hiding. Sam joins with John and Six to find the others, as well as his father. John leaves Sarah behind with Mark, and is this such a good idea? Remember, this is the guy who just a few days ago said this.
You're a problem for me, Sarah.
So John, Six, Sam, and the Chimera head off to find the remaining four. The movie was shot mostly in Pennsylvania for about $50 million. The high school in the film was Franklin Regional High School in Murraysville, Pennsylvania. After the depressingly gigantic box office numbers the Twilight movies were pulling in, studios started looking at other book series to adapt a film that might appeal to a younger crowd. The Vampire's Assistant didn't do so well, and Beastly, also starring Alex Pettyfer, was an epic fail. It wasn't until last year's Hunger Games that they had another big franchise on their hands. I Am Number 4 was a modest success, but not the billion-dollar juggernaut that they were hoping for. The filmmakers sold it to the studio under the guise of it being Twilight for boys. What they didn't realize is that there already is an overwhelming amount of Twilight for boys. It's called pornography. Director DJ Caruso had two very big hits before this movie, Disturbia and Eagle Eye, both with Shia LaBeouf. Thankfully, he didn't try to bring him into this production because while I don't mind Louis Stevens, he would have been horrifically miscast. It's Kevin Durant again. This time he's barely recognizable as the Mog Commander. Timothy Olyphant was good as the mentor Henry. While most people think of him as Seth from Deadwood, I will always see him as Kelly from The Girl Next Door. Reuben Langdon had a small role as Number 3's protector. You may not know him by name, but chances are you've seen some of his work. He was the stunt coordinator for Batman Arkham Origins, the Tomb Raider reboot, as well as Resident Evil 5 and 6. He was also the stunt double for Michael C. Hall in Dexter, and he's done tons of voiceover work for video games like Street Fighter 4, Devil May Cry 3 and 4, and Resident Evil 5. There's also a brief cameo by the original April O'Neil, Judith Hoag, as Sarah's mom. Alex Pettyfer grew on me. I saw Beastly before this, and I thought he was shit and the movie was shit. Although after seeing Pettyfer in this, and the underrated In Time, I'm pretty sure his bad acting in Beastly was mostly due to bad directing. Teresa Palmer played Number 6, and she was 20 tons of awesome. She oozed confidence, charisma, and was the real hero of the film. John was doing okay for himself, but Six was a little older and had more time to hone her skills, so she was a force to be reckoned with. Her dialogue was so ridiculously over the top with machismo. If it was said by a guy, it wouldn't have worked. But Six, with her attitude and great Aussie accent, made it work.
Red Bulls for pussies.
Palmer trained for months before the film started shooting and did many of the stunts herself, including the one where she had to be pulled upside down 60 feet in the air by a crane. Even though she's a blonde, Palmer is frequently mistaken for Twilight's Kristen Stewart. To a certain degree, I get it. I mean, she does bear a passing resemblance, and has been in movies regarded as Twilight with wizards, Twilight with aliens, and Twilight with zombies. While the movie's lumped into the supernatural teen romance category, it deserves to be credited as so much more. The love story doesn't feel forced, and Sarah doesn't spend the whole movie crying and pining over John while reading poetry in a field. The big difference is the film has balls. The last half hour or so is a non-stop action-packed badass fight of John and Six versus the Mogs. That alone makes the movie worth watching. Even though the film made its money back, the sequel's still up in the air. The next book in the series is The Power of Six, which focuses on the much more interesting character of Number 6. Not saying I didn't like John, but while watching the movie the first time, and when they introduced Six, I immediately wanted to know more about her backstory. The film's only a couple years old, so a sequel's still a possibility. I hope so. I think this series has a lot of promise. There was a lot of CGI, and while I would have preferred practical effects, at least it looked good and they were consistent. John's light blasts were cool, and the Mog Beasts looked pretty damn good. Throughout the film, we see John's mysterious box of mystery. It never gets opened in the film, so that is nothing but one big loose end. What's in the box? Is he going to open the box? Now he's going to open the box. Alright, now he's totally going to open the box. Oh, what's in the box?